Want to see early content and more from The Cinema Snob? Become a supporter over at patreon.com/thecinemasnob, where you get to see early viewings of new episodes. Plus, you can see installments of our supersized episodes, including the first parts of our upcoming 1962 in film episode. All that and more over at patreon.com/thecinemasnob.
I kind of wondered if I would get some chat comments like this whenever I made this the title of the episode. Hang on, let me make sure people are still in there in the chat. Okay, everything seems fine right now. Say hi to us if you're in the chat there. Since a few of you already seem concerned, I was like, what do I stream about today? Well, we took Jack to his regular checkup last week. I could talk about that a little bit and a few other things, but I can't call the name of the episode like Jack's Doctor Visit or something like that. It makes it sound like I'd come in here and tell a really serious story or something like that. I was like, okay, I can call it. I won't call it Jack's Doctor Visit. I'll call it Jack's Doctor Adventure. Okay, for him it might be an adventure. You know, we're in the car. He likes the car. We'll call it Jack's Doctor Adventure, and I'll do like I usually do and put my face over a stock shot of a baby that looks like I'm starring in some direct-to-video Baby Geniuses sequel if they become doctors or something like that, or if it crosses over into the Dr. Dolittle universe. I'll find out if that exists next year when I do start doing some of the Baby Geniuses movies as episodes. So I'll put my face on the baby's body and everything. As horrifying as that looks, still probably not the most haunting thumbnail I've put up this year. And yet still, even with that, like calling it that, putting that picture on there, there was still the first few comments very, very concerned. We have one here, here's hoping it was just a routine checkup and nothing more. And then the comment above that is left by, wouldn't it be something if this is the actual, left by a commenter named Dylan McDermott. Don't watch, if that is you, maybe don't watch our review of Destiny Turns on the Radio for midnight screenings. Although we'll get mad at Jared. I might have liked it a little bit better than he did. But Dylan McDermott here says, yeah, I hope this is going to be a funny story. I do like the idea, though, that I would come in here with a bad story, but would still call it Jack's Doctor Adventure with a thumbnail that's my face grafted onto the face of a baby. Like, I'm going to come in here and be like, all right, everyone, welcome to episode 42 of the live stream. Welcome to Jack's Doctor Adventure. We got some stories for you. Hope you like the thumbnail, by the way. Anyway, sad news, I'm afraid. Let's get through this. Then we'll get to your super chat questions and comments. But anyway, thanks a bunch, everyone, for being here and watching. Sorry, it's been a couple of weeks since I did this. I wanted to get a couple of extra snob episodes in before. Laura and I are going to be gone for a couple of weeks here towards the. We're going to be gone for when is it we're leaving again? We're going to be gone like in the middle of next week. We'll be gone for a little bit, so I wanted to squeeze in as much as I could before we took off. We're going out to Colorado for her family for the holidays. So I'm like, okay, I'll get in a couple other things. I put up some small snob episodes. I did one on the Colby Christmas, which that was nothing to do with the episode or anything like that. But when I did the episode on Colby's Christmas that I put up, a couple of things that I had to fight with on that. Here I go into it thinking I should have known something would happen. Here I go into it thinking, that'll be like a 12, 13-minute episode. It's pretty quick to write, pretty quick to edit, too. Both of those things were true, but already I was running into some bad luck. When I went to go make it public, I had forgotten to upload it earlier. Like I usually, put up stuff a week in advance and everything. I had forgotten to do that with this one. So I uploaded it right before I made it public. And I uploaded it right before I made it public, and typically when that happens, that means it might get hit with copyright pretty fast. And it did. Colby, of all things. It's since been cleared, that's fine. But a couple of annoyances happened with it. And shout out, I forget who this was, my apologies, but shout out to the person on Twitter who told me about this. Once in a while, I can think of maybe a few times this happened where, for whatever reason, you make something public and the comments automatically go off on the video. And there's no alert that tells you this has happened. It's just something that you've just got to notice on your own, or someone's got to tell you about it. And that's what happened. It was up for like an hour. And a dude over on Twitter told me. I went right away over to fix it. And I did. But when you fix it, this is the same thing that happened a couple of previous times too. It happened when I reviewed that Spirit Halloween movie, and I can't remember. There was another thing it happened with too. But when you reset the comments to allow comments, it'll still automatically like switch off again after like 15 minutes. And then the previous times, I would switch it on again, and after switching it back on again like a second time, then it was fine. This one I had to do it like 3 times. So I went ahead and made that like the go-to video on the site for a little bit, or on the channel for a little bit. The one that automatically plays whenever you click on the page. So yeah, Colby's Christmas. That turned out to be a headache, more of a headache than I thought it would be. Rubik the Amazing Cube, that one was all right. Rubik the Amazing Cube, for as off-putting as his voice is, and the entire concept of that is, really, he gave me no trouble. That one was fine to get through. I'll say this. Rubik's Christmas, it's kind of original. I wasn't expecting it to tie in to pyramids and curses in the middle of what looked like the desert in Arizona. So that one was all right. Tomorrow over on Patreon, I should have the next Snob episode up. It's for the special Sesame Street Christmas, the one that aired on CBS in 1978 and only aired once. It's all kind of variety show shenanigans happen in that one. But over on, also on Patreon, of course, there's all the way up through April of 1962 in film. Though this was kind of fun to film, where for March. No, not March. March or April. Which one? Here for March, I had to re-record my on-camera footage twice. I had to record it twice because I accidentally deleted it the first time. But it didn't take that long to re-record it, and I kind of already knew the context of everything. But when it got to me recording the April episode that I wrote the April portion of it, which has like Cape Fear and Follow That Dream and Moon Pilot from Disney. Brian Keith's in that, and a chimpanzee's in that one too. It had all of those movies. So I got that part written. Then my mom came to visit for a week, and some stuff with work, I was like, all right, some stuff's got to kind of wait till maybe after the holidays or when there's less company over. So I had it written. We had company in town, and I wrote it after. So I was sitting there going into it like, I am going to forget the context of a lot of this, of what I'm saying. And when I recorded it, I really didn't. But that has happened before. The worst example of that, where I wrote something, time went by, and I had no clue what I was even talking about in the review. It actually has happened in some of the months. Like, there would maybe be 1 or 2 months in like 1983 in film that was the case. But the biggest example of it is on one of the DVDs, one of the uncut DVDs. There's an episode for a movie called She-Devils of the SS. It's like all I remember about the movie, too, is that title. And that was pretty much all I remembered about it when I was editing that episode, too. I wrote the episode for this movie called She-Devils. Yeah, I think that's it. She-Devils of the SS. Ilsa knockoff, you know. I wrote the episode for it. And then had to shift my focus over to... We were just starting production on another Cinema Snob movie. So I wrote that episode. We filmed that entire movie... because I had to focus on that and not the DVD for like the uncut collection of episodes. So I write the episode, an entire movie gets filmed, and then I'm like, okay, well, let me record this episode and and then edit it. Reading it, I had no idea what I'm talking about in that. I'm like, well, I take it I'm reading it going, I think I should be in this tone. I'm assuming I don't like this movie. This is written like I don't like it. I'll have to take my own word for it that all of this stuff happens in She Devils on Wheels. Or not She Devils on Wheels, She Devils of the SA. She Devils on Wheels, I should get to that one at some point, so I can forget that one in the future, too. It's a Herschel Gordon Lewis movie, I think. So, anyway, well, January, February, March, and April 1962 are up on Patreon right now. We're getting in our walks and everything through the day. Because Jack likes being outside. He likes the motion of the stroller on the sidewalk and everything. The only time he doesn't really like being outside is sometimes when the cart stops, but really that's only when we go into the store. When we go into Walgreens on our way home, when we go into Walgreens, I don't know if it's a shift in the temperature going from outside to inside, or if the ground is just much smoother when he's going on there. Maybe he just doesn't like their choice of music that's playing in there. I highly disagree with you, son. I like Eddie Money very much, thank you. So it'll get smooth. He'll start crying inside the Walgreens. We come to the conclusion that he is more of a CVS man. He does. They still sell cigarettes over at Walgreens. He's not a very big fan of that smoke when we're walking in. He very much prefers. Anyway, when we went to the doctor, this is even. I just had to write like a topic. I had to write a topic in the headline. I couldn't make the topic of the episode and the name of the episode like. What does Brad remember about She Devils of the SS? Turns out nothing. Bye. Let's get to your super chat. So he does well at the doctor. We have it's about every once a month? Yeah, I think so. Every few weeks, because he's been there twice. So there was like the first checkup. Both times it went really well. And he does really well when he's there. We'll overhear, babies in other rooms crying. And then we think, we start wondering what's going on in Jack's head when he hears the babies crying in the other room. If it is another language and he totally understands what they're saying, it is Luke who's talking and they're communicating telepathically with each other. Or you really could invent that machine that invented on The Simpsons. So no, he does whenever he's there, he gets checked out, gets his ears checked, his eyes checked and all that. But this last time is when he had to get a couple of shots. So we were curious how well he would do with the shots. When he had to have some blood drawn at the hospital after he was born, he did good with that. I think one of the other visits he did good with his blood getting drawn too. So getting blood drawn he's done fine with. But shots, we weren't exactly sure. We're like, let's go ahead and see how he handles this. They did his weight, they did his height. When they did his height, I had to go to my obligatory joke of he's almost half as tall as me now. So then when he got his shots, one in either leg, it was... So it was just like this slow realization that he doesn't like it. It wasn't like instant, it wasn't like instantly, instantly with the shots and it wasn't all of a sudden that. It was just this, you've got one of those pens that's happy and then you turn it upside down and just the face instantly goes to discomfort and anger. So he's laying there, gets the first shot, and it's just this. I was there to comfort him. It's okay. I was. I'll be there with him because he, he can lay all the blame towards me. He can take it all out on me. He took it out on the both of us because he was the shots doing their magic. It kept him up for a couple of days. So there was a couple of days there where Jack was all kinds of alert. But getting that all through his system and everything. So whenever he needs to take out his anger or anything on anyone, best he does it with me. He already likes Laura way better than me, which, of course, most people like Laura better than me anyway. But she has, a much more, calming voice than I do. I've done a lot of voice work before. I've never played the calming guy. So, Laura's got a much more calming voice than me. She's easier on the eyes than me, So yeah, he takes to her fight. There's a couple of things there. One, he probably likes he probably likes the fact that she makes fun of him less when he's upset, and the nicknames, the nicknames too, like when he has his poops, and where our go-to nicknames are like, ooh, dirty, stinky, nasty, smelly boy. And the voices that we have for him. Laura has her voice for Jack. I have my voice for Jack. Both of them are describing two very different people. So Laura's voice for Jack is more like, I don't know, like if they found a baby in the Bambi universe. The baby's sitting there in the leaves like, oh, thank you. Thank you for taking me to this wonderful doctor, Mother. Thank you. See, it sounds creepier when I do it. I sound like I should be voicing Bert and Pearl right now. No, her voice form is more like, oh, thank you for this bottle, Mother. I love you so much. Meanwhile, my voice for him is something like, this chair's uncomfortable with this pacifier in my ass. Like, again, describing very different people. Or it's describing the same person, just a 50-year time difference between voice A and voice B. Like, something happened in between those years to make him very angry and bitter, and apparently hard for him to sit up off the couch when he sits on something. So, anyway, his visit went perfectly fine because we got him home, and really what's even more comforting to him than myself and Laura is once we get it home. See, the chat gets it. Oh, so he's Baby Herman. Got it. Exactly. We're already sharing cigars with each other. So, anyway, we get him home. We can comfort him to the soothing sounds of the Great British Bake Off, which is, for a while is just one of the greatest television shows ever made. And I thought this even before Jack was born. Yes, it's very nice that Jack is sitting there, and we got pictures of him too, where Great British Bake Off is on TV. And Jack is just sitting there smiling away. He might not even be looking at the TV. Well, he's not, because we don't just sit him in front of the TV. But he hears those sounds. He hears those calming, soothing sounds. And has a smile on his face. And we're like, excellent, because even if he didn't like it, we're going to watch this. It's one of our favorite shows. But also, we're like, he's hearing this in his head. He's gonna be the cook that we want him to be. He's gonna grow up and he's gonna cook for us. Because eventually I'm the one who's gonna be having a hard time moving and getting up off the couch if I'm apparently sitting on a pacifier. No. So, it was great. We go back and watch like all the other seasons as well. And, I see those articles that'll be like, oh, this season was bad, this season was good, this one was okay, this one was really bad. I'm like, I love every single one of these. If they mess up on something, they don't make it right, and it's just a pile of goo sitting there, it's entertaining to me. We love that show so much that we found the American version of it. I think there's more than one American version of it, honestly, but there was one that still had Paul Hollywood on it, where it was, I want to say it was from maybe 2013, and it's called like probably The Great American Bake Off or something. We found it over on Amazon. So we found the American version of this. And if you don't know this show, you should totally just go binge watch it. You'll thank me later because it's awesome. If you don't know this show, it's a baking competition. It's all like it's very likable. It's very like it's a nice show. It's all in this tent that's outside, and the format is someone leaves every episode, so it's a competition series. But it is very funny and soothing, and it's chill. It's a very lovable show. So take all of what I just said. Now imagine there's an American version of it, where some American executive on like Fox, where this probably aired. Imagine all of that, this like really cool, chill, likable cooking show given to like a Fox executive with American reality show notes. Which means you got Jeff Foxworthy as the host of the American one, who has jokes like, like, oh, that's a little far from me. Let me get my extended fork over here, an invention of my own making. Let me grab that. It's things like that. But also, it had talk about like being put on the air by like an American broadcasting network. When they adapted it for American television, it had a villain. They gave it a freaking villain who one episode kind of tries cheating at one point, and then he was playing dumb about it, but I think it seemed like he was kind of trying to. But then this character has an arc over the season, and actually he redeems himself, has a freaking redemption arc to where he's kind of a hero as it goes along. It looked like some of the other contestants, it looked like they got some of them by going to the like as seen on Kmart website. Hey, you want to be on a cooking show? Keep that hair. So they have them on the American version, and it was still entertaining. Like, we watched the whole thing because it still had Paul Hollywood there. So it was kind of Paul Hollywood like reacting to the shenanigans going on, and he was still good on it. Like, he's pretty cool. So there's one where he's surprised by the portion sizes that they're making, and one where they have to, I forget the category, but one of them made like a chocolate cake that had bacon in it, of course. So at first he's like kind of scoffing, like, you're making this with bacon in it? Okay. And then when it gets to actually trying it, he tries it out and he's just like, I like this, and I hate the fact that I really, really like this. So, yeah, man, we got through all the episodes of that. I wish there was a season 2 of it. Gimmicky as hell. Like, watching this nice show and being like, make it more like The Apprentice. What would Mark Burnett do? No, don't ask that. Then you get this cooking show with the tent outside and you write a villain into it. Anyway, if we wanted some food mishaps, though, well, that actually happened. We had one of the best food mishaps that I've seen here recently. It had nothing to do with the cooking show. Didn't even have anything to do with Jack, except for the fact that we were both tired, so that's maybe why this happened. So there's a really great breakfast place here that we love going to. It's a place called Egg Harbor, and usually when company's in town, we try to get something from Egg Harbor whenever someone's here. And, my mom was here, so we got breakfast there. Laura thought it up at first. She was asking, like, she was wondering what their limited time menu is, because we do love doing that, the seasonal menu and everything. And they did. There's this like seasonal turkey sandwich there that I got, and then with her pancakes, there was this seasonal like apple cinnamon pancakes, and my mom got the lobster egg scrambler, which is like probably the best thing on the menu. It's freaking delicious. So, but I wanted to try their, I love limited time offers too, so I got my limited time turkey sandwich because I can't get that any other time of year. Well, I mean, true, not at this restaurant I can't. So The one thing, sometimes it can be as great as this place is. Sometimes it can be a little confusing with the size, like the different sauces. So you might look at something and be like, does this go with yours? Does this go with yours? Yeah, that type of deal. And it's hard. It's easier to mess stuff up than you think it would be. Some stuff is easy, like that's my ketchup for my soda, that kind of thing. So anyway, Laura saw this a cup of, it looked like there was some kind of sauce in there or something, and I looked down at it and I'm like, I think it's yours. She's like, yeah, I think it is too. She thought it was caramel drizzle. She thought it was caramel drizzle for her pancakes. So she smears this drizzle over on her pancakes and everything. And, I'm eating my turkey sandwich, my mom with her eggs, Laura with her, what she thinks is apple cinnamon pancake. No, the apple and the cinnamon were there. Just a nice little extra ingredient that she wasn't expecting. So anyway, she's sitting there eating a few bites, and she says, this tastes like smoky to me. Does this, almost like it has bacon in it or something. Can you try this? Something about this is weird. And then I tried it. And I'm sitting there. You guys have seen everything that I've tried on the you guys have seen everything that I've tried on the show. So I'm sitting there thinking like, well, I don't really taste bacon. I don't know. It might just be some kind of maybe more of a smoky, like tangier, a little tangier, like apple cinnamon taste. Yeah, I don't know. There's something. It's not bad though. Then Laura took a closer look at the sauce cup that she drizzled on there, kind of smelled it a little bit, looked at me and said, I think this is yours. And I'm like, dude. Oh, I think that's honey mustard. So it turns out that was supposed to go on my sandwich, which suddenly a lot of things made sense to me right then, because I was eating, again, I love this restaurant, but I was eating that sandwich thinking, this is kind of dry. Like I'm thinking in my head, like, it's okay, but it definitely needs something extra. Now it makes sense. Not all the toppings were on it. Instead, the pancakes were enjoying my mustard topping. Yet I was still sitting there thinking, those pancakes still aren't that bad. Look at all the different stuff that I've had before that I've tried on the site. It's better than the turkey soda that I had recently. It's better than ranch soda. It's better than a lot of the strange concoctions I have on here. Really, if I was sitting there eating the mustard on the pancakes, I don't know if I really would have noticed. I would have just thought, like, this is a very high-end 5-star restaurant. That's just how they make it here. That means it's good. It tastes unique. They know what they're doing. If it tastes funny in your mouth, that means it's expensive. So I was still sitting there like, she was like scraping it off there and then had the rest of it, and I was thinking I probably still would have just eaten it. I mean, it's already there. I mean, I've seen them try out mustard with a lot of other different things. Like, Pringles, a lot of different, dip pretzels in them and stuff like that. I don't know, like maybe something should try out honey mustard flavored pancakes. I mean, I'd try it. Are you kidding? That would be an episode. I should have told her to go ahead and hold on to the honey See, that should have been the Wonka pancakes that they have at IHOP right now. IHOP now has the Wonka pancakes, which I think are probably just regular pancakes that they dyed purple. No, make it, well, you can still keep it purple. Just make it taste like mustard. Just like in the movie. What? The pancakes smell like mustard. Wonka, you genius, you've done it again. So, anyway, we chalked that up to being kind of tired when that happened. But again, I would have kept eating it and just not noticed. Was it because I'm tired? Sure, let's go with that. No, it's because of over 10 years of doing Brad tries. It's ruined my taste buds. I'm eating out of a serial killer's head, for God's sake. All right, let's go ahead and get to your super chat questions right now. I see some of them in there. All right. Hey, yeah, dude's got it in the comments right here. The American Baking Competition. It aired on CBS in 2013. Other dude's also going, but the one with Jeff Foxworthy was the original. Well, is it really the opposite of what I've been saying? It started out here in America, and they were like, let's tone this down a little bit. Take out the villains. We'll take the villains out of the show and make it much more nicer and wholesome. I'm not lying. The villain on the American version, he did have a nice redemption arc. He's actually pretty likable by the end of it. They were more thin-skinned on that version, man. There would be a week where they would end up on the bottom and dude would just be like, no, bullshit. I don't deserve to be on the bottom. They're wrong, all right? The shit's delicious. They just don't know what they're talking about. Sabotaging each other and shit. What if I unplug their refrigerator? I know. I'll put the bad ones over here in the sink and hope they don't notice. All right. Go ahead and get to your... There's my super chats. Cool. I was trying to scroll up on the regular chat, and I was like, it's been a couple weeks. I don't think that's how I do it. Okay, it's a little tab here. Matt Florent says, hey, Brad, hope you, Laura, and Jack have a great holiday. Me too. The one thing we're going to be doing a plane ride. You know I don't like planes very much, so mainly I'm thinking I hope Jack's going to be okay on there. We got his ears checked and everything, so he's good to fly. But we're thinking about all the crying that other passengers would have to deal with. Not from Jack, from me. Because I hate flying. Jack will be fine. It'll just be me having a conniption fit. No, I have like 3 Jack and diets before I get on a plane. I'm good. Let me do this shot and have some trazodone. Campbellzilla. Are there any William Castle movies you do for the snob? Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of them that are in the Tox box. So I'm going to bring that back in January, by the way. I know I keep saying, oh, next month I'll bring back the Tox box. Next month I'll bring back the Tox box. I know I keep saying that. January I will. It might not be like every week in January, but I will. I needed to focus on episodes where the movies weren't that long. Balancing, having the newborn here and work. I'm like, okay, I need to focus on stuff that is maybe only like 70 minutes tops. And I don't think there's anything in the poll choices in the box that are shorter than 70 minutes. So I'm like, okay, well, the Colby, that works. Rubik the Amazing Cube works. Black Santa's only 70 minutes. Got Sesame Street Christmas special coming up next week. So a lot of shorter stuff here for the rest of December. But next month we'll have a couple of poll choices on there. That being said, yeah, there's a couple of William Castle movies that are in there. A couple of them that I spotlighted in the 60s retrospectives. Homicidal's in there, because that's the one with the Coward's Corner, where if you wanted your money back because it was too scary, you had to sit in the Coward's Corner, and like nobody did it. And then, Mr. Sardonicus. It's a cool movie. Mr. Sardonicus is a dude with like the crazed permanent grin on his face, and then it has the quote choose your own ending, which not really. That's when you go see Mr. Sardonicus, then at the end or near the end, William Castle pops up on the screen like he's talking to the audience saying, hold up your card if you want to have the punishment ending or the mercy ending, knowing everyone would do the punishment ending. And he's like, because they never shot an alternate ending to this. It's just the punishment ending. They have William Castle on screen going, "All right, you. Oh, son, raise your card higher. I don't see you all the way in the back." Which that's got to be weird if you're the only one in the theater watching this. Is there a ghost child behind me? So, yeah, Mr. Sardonicus is in there. It came close because William Castle worked on Rosemary's Baby. And I came close to doing that. That was like the last episode I had planned before Jack was born. But I ended up taking that week off because I just had a feeling he would come early, and he did. But I still have some of my notes for it. It mentions William Castle in there. Okay. When Fat Kills Fat 80. Thoughts on Hall & Oates splitting. Oh, is that why they were trending the other day? I didn't know Hall & Oates split. Like, I like Hall & Oates a lot. I really, really do. I didn't know one way or the other if they still toured or anything like that. If they did make it around my area here, I would totally go see Hall & Oates. Maneater, man. Great song. Out of Time, fantastic song. I love a lot of Hall & Oates stuff. No, that's a bummer. I really do dig Hall & Oates. Like I said, I didn't really know if they were still together or not, but it happens. Campbellzilla, regarding your thoughts on Cabin Fever, do you think the positive reviews it got from critics and filmmakers like Tarantino and Peter Jackson contributed to your feelings on it? No. Because none of that would make me go into it wanting to not like it. I don't. I haven't seen the movie in a long time. Maybe I would like it better now if I saw it, or at least, I mean, it wouldn't make me as mad if I saw it now because going into it, I know what I'm expecting with it. But no, when I went to go, I saw that in theaters. I went into it thinking I would really like it because I was hearing so much positive buzz about it. Between the directors you just said and the reviews for it were pretty good. So, no, none of that would make me be like, oh, positive reviews, we'll see about that. No, I was actually surprised I disliked it so much. But I liked Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's way better. I actually liked Cabin Fever 2, the Ty West one. I don't think Ty West likes it very much. It didn't get the best reviews either, but I honestly liked it. It took characters that I thought were annoying in the first one and kind of made them more likable for me in the second one. The ending didn't work very well of it, but I kind of liked that it was like this super bad kind of movie that gets interrupted by a virus film about halfway through. Cabin Fever 3 I remember being bad. The remake I remember being not good. I kind of like that second one. I do. Tricution. Oh, hey. Yes, I've been meaning to. We got our packages yesterday. She says, did you get my sweater gift for Jack? I did. We got it yesterday. I meant to write you about this sooner. So I get a little bit behind on my messages, so sorry about that. But yes, and it's awesome. This very cool, like, Lloyd approved sweater and everything. Thank you so much for the card as well. I read it and I'll reach out to you about that too. So we definitely got it and saw it. It's awesome. Thank you so much. You're very good at those, by the way. They're really, really, really cool. It's this very nice, like, Lloyd approved sweater for Jack. If I had it next to me right now, I would show it. Sorry about that. Next time I'll show it on here. But no, I'll shoot you a message here pretty soon. Drunken Buddha, saw your review of Deathbed, the bed that eats. Do you still praise it today as you did when you first reviewed it? Oh, did I give it a... I mean, I know I liked the movie, but that's an old episode. So I couldn't remember if I wrote it positive, even though I liked it, because episodes were just written way different back then. But yeah, I guess I would, because it's kind of an art house horror a little bit. It is artsy. So yeah, I could see how even back then I would write it as the snob writing it. Yeah, no, I like Deathbed. Deathbed's cool. For a movie called Deathbed, The Bed That Eats, it's really not bad. It's way more ambitious than I thought it would be going into it. I remember those cool shots. I haven't seen it since I reviewed it, and that was well over 10 years ago. I remember those cool shots where it's like the stomach acid or whatever of the bed and things dissolving in it, and the guy who gets the skin eaten off of his hand, so it's just the bones there. It's a well shot movie. Like I kind of do dig the cinematography of it. No, for a movie called that, Deathbed, a movie about a bed that eats, the dude was really ambitious with it. Like, he was going for it. He's like, this is going to win a freaking Cannes, man. So, no, yeah, I liked it. I like that movie. As for my review of it, I remember where I was when I reviewed it. That was in this duplex that we used to live in, which is the worst snob set. It's like nothing in the background other than like the corner of the room. I remember the joke where I'm saying a lot of like pretentious dialogue and like rubbing the television or something. I kind of remember that. It's like I'm surprised I remember that too. But the main thing that sticks out to me about that was the first title card that Sean drew, not the first one. So there's kind of two first title cards. There was this kind of fan art that he drew for my episode of Deathbed, and I don't remember if he sent it to me or if I just saw it maybe on Twitter. I can't remember. It's been so long. But I remember then after that reaching out, or maybe it was either Deathbed or it was Bloodsucking Freaks. It was one of the two, but I remember then reaching out and be like, "Are you interested in doing any title cards?" And title cards for me, and we've been together ever since. Yeah, we shoot the shit to each other through email every week, and catch up on our lives and stuff like that. But I think that when he started doing the title cards after me going like, "You interested in doing title cards for the show?" I want to say the first one was Beaver and Buttface. It was Beaver and Buttface, or it was Bloodsucking Freaks. So I'll have to ask him. Maybe he remembers more than I do. Next time I write to him, I'll be like, "Do you remember?" All right, looks like that's it for the super chat questions in there. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Oh, it's fun to do this again. Even if I can't do it I try to do it every week, but I don't know when it might not be until after the new year that I come back and do another one. Unless I do maybe I will. Maybe I'll stream a little bit out in Colorado. Yeah, maybe I'll still stream a little bit out in Colorado, but I'll try. If not, it'll be after the new year. So I'm glad I got to come in here at least once this month and hang out with you guys for a bit. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Hope you had a good time. Sorry, no sweet potato donuts this time, but check out my recent Christmas episodes on Black Santa, The Monsters Christmas. You'll want to see that snob episode. Every year there's always the unintentionally creepy, scary ass old kids movie that I find, like Miss Velma, Santa's Christmas Elf Named Calvin, Wizzo the Clown, stuff like that. This year, it's this New Zealand movie from 1981 called The Monsters Christmas. Put that one up a couple of days ago. There's the Rubik the Amazing Cube one, Black Santa, Colby. Check that one out. And by all means, leave a comment, too, since they were unintentionally shut off for a while. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. And, if I don't see you beforehand, have a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year as well. See you.